Alright, so now we're going to go over some little examples of how to use the timer. For this example, we're going to go over a flashing light. We want to flash Y0, or let's pick Y2 or Y1, doesn't really matter. Just pick Y1. We want to flash Y1 using the start button. Once I started the system, I want to flash a light on off. In order to complete this exercise, you must have watched the previous video, the set and reset video, and we're going to flash on off a light. Okay, so let's start by that. So on C1, we already gave the permissive, C0, I'm sorry. C0 is on. Put it on delay timer. On delay timer 0. We want to flash for 5 seconds on and 5 seconds off. Just to show the example, right? Alright. So, in this particular example, we're going to use 2 timers. So, 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off. So notice that in order to reset my timer, I need to bring it back to 0, right? So you're always going to have some conditions here that are normally closed that will reset your timer. So under normal circumstances, the timer is on, and when you want to reset, the normally closed contact will open. We'll go through that just now. Give me a second. So let's start by here, C0, right? So when C0 turns on, my timer starts timing for 5 seconds. When it's done, I want to turn off for 5 seconds. So T0 done. And this is specific for this problem, right? There's other ways you can do it. But I just want to show you how to use 2 timers to flash a light. Basically, multiple timers. So when T0 is done, now this one starts, right? Starts timing, and 5 seconds off. Okay. So how can I do it that this one, when it completes, it resets back this one so they can start again? So the best way to do that, so when this one is done, this one will reset. Remember I said to use a normally closed contact? Normally closed, T0, T1, done. Then resets this timer. Let's put a little name to this timer, right? Let's go, actually, I will show you how to do this. Documentation editor, put T0 time on, and there's T1 as time off. Now going back to main. Again, I need to reset this timer as well, right? So when this one gets reset, it's timer done. We'll go back to 0, and we discussed that before. Because the timer resets, right? So if T0 done is back to 0, then this one turns off, which resets this one. All right, let's accept the changes. Let's write to the PLC. Okay. Notice the timing is accumulating. Done bit. second. You reset, went back. Notice that this one goes off for 5 seconds more, right? So I have not flashed the light. I'm just timing, right? But notice again that this one goes for 5 seconds more. Look. Then this one resets after 5 seconds. So I'm gonna write my Y1 to be my output. So let's go back to the documentation editor. We have Y1. Nope. Y1 flashing light. All right. Now let's do the code that turns on Y1. So Y1, I want this one to be the time on, right? The 5 seconds for this one, right? So how can I do it? How can I do it? So let me take you back to the other class, right? Timer timing goes off when timer done goes on. So I can say when T0 dot timer timing is on, then Y1 turns on. And when permissive is on. So I want the permissive also to be on. This is just a redundancy. You can actually take it off. But we can test either way. It's set. It won't do no harm. So right now, let's see it. Turns on for 5 seconds. When this timer starts counting, notice that it went back to off. Go back on. So notice that I used the timer timing. So saying when this timer is timing for its first 5 seconds, when this timer timing, notice that after 5 seconds, my done bit turns on. You see? So if my done bit turns on, you see? There you go. Notice the timing. Look at the time. Well, this is not TT. This is just timing. So timer timing is not the same as timing, just in case. And done, the end that I'm using here is not the same as this done. These are internal to the timer. We don't hardly use them. The ones that we will use are these ones. So notice that after 5 seconds, this one starts timing. So the TT turns on whenever it's not done. So whenever this one is not done. So right now it's TT, right? So look. Notice that when this one is on, this one is off. You see, they complement each other. They're the contrary of each other. Basically, timer timing is the same thing as saying TCO done, not on. So there you go. You got your first flashing light. If you go to your simulator, you will see the flashing Y1. So we use the timer timing to turn it on. Another way you can do it is to do this. You click here, you put a normally close contact there, and change this to done. Because they're contrary of each other, right? People like to use the done bit more than the timer timing. I've noticed that. and it's the same outcome. Hmm? Notice that the timer resets every time power is taken off out of it. So when power goes off, look, accumulation resets. Okay, that's all for now.